so today we're going to do a compare and contrast circle between Jonas's society and our society, and it says at the top, now that you have examined the way Jonas's society and our society handle the circle of life, brainstorm the pros and cons for each. So we're looking at the good things from Jonas's society and the bad things about Jonas's society, as well as for our society, the things that are good and the things that are bad, okay? So for finding a mate, if we look in our books, let's see, if we're starting on that one, let's work on that one together. If we're talking about how Jonas's society finds a mate, I think we're somewhere on page 48 or thereabouts, or a little bit before them, because you guys know some of this already. In Jonas's society, when they find a mate, what's the first thing they do? Let's pretend this is kind of like a sequence of events, like we're doing like a chain of events kind of situation. What's the first thing? If you're old enough to have a significant other in Jonas's society, what's the first thing that happens?
You apply.
You fill out an application. Thank you, Ardred. Almost. Very similar to it, yes. Okay, once you fill out, let me zoom this in a little bit so you guys can see this a little better. That's not zooming in. Okay, once you fill out an application, if we're looking on that same page, I think they tell us, yep, what happens sequentially?
You wait.
Okay, you have to wait. What are you waiting for? Not yet. Back up a little bit. That's coming up next. Hang on, back up. What do people do? You fill out an application, think about it.
Wait years.
But what are you waiting for specifically?
Waiting for
What are the
a significant spouse.
The committee of elders
Uh-huh.
to find a mate for you.
Okay, so you're waiting for the committee to find your match. Because it's not like you get to go out and look, they kind of do the looking for you, okay? Now on page 48, kind of about halfway down the page I think, there's a part where they talk about what the committee looks at. What are the things that they look at when matching people? Because you don't get to go out and choose, they do the choosing for you, okay? They know you, they know the different people in their town, and they're looking for very specific things when they match people up. What are some of those things that they're looking at when they match people?
Disposition, energy level, intelligence, and interests.
Okay. I lost the last two. What were they? Energy level, something,
Intelligence.
something. Intelligence and interests. So basically, in Jonas's society, they're going to make sure that you are matched to someone too, has an energy level that kind of balances you out, has an intelligence level that balances you out. So you're not necessarily going to have two really smart people in the same town or anything like that, or two people in the same town, in the same family, or two people that have the same interests in the same family or as spouses. They have a little bit of both, so you have a little bit of diversity, okay? Now, in our society, if we think about this, there's a very clear way that we go about matching ourselves with a spouse, okay? We have to back it up way back. When you, not necessarily are looking for a spouse so much, but we're looking for a significant other, generally speaking, what's the first thing that happens, Hunter?
Kind of like have to have a background with them, like some kind of connection.
Okay, let me back you up. We're going to get to that, I think, in one or two things. But before you do that, what's the first thing that happens? Before you start building the background and connection to that person, based on what? Yes. Now we're getting to what I want to talk about. Oh, we're being honest today. Generally speaking, in our community, do you or do you not approach someone based on their appearance? Okay, so the very first thing in our community, in our society that we look at when we're talking about finding a mate or finding a significant other is based just solely on what they physically look like, okay? We don't necessarily, everything else is kind of second, third, fourth, way down the line. The very first thing, if we're honest, because I had classes last week that wanted to tell me, no, Miss White's all about personality. I said, you are lying. Because everybody in here knows you're not going to approach someone if they don't look attractive to you. If there's not some sort of physical attraction, if they don't look good to you, you're not ever going to approach them. Where in Jonas's society, that's not ever an issue because you don't have to approach anybody at all. They just kind of bring them to you. It's kind of like an arranged marriage almost. Very similar to an arranged marriage.
Like an Indian stuff.
Very similar to it, yes sir. Okay, so basically, first thing, you approach someone based on appearance. Tell me progression-wise, what happens after that? Go ahead, Hunter, you got this, go.
Yeah, then you like start to talk with them, get to know their interests, and then like,
Okay.
yeah, you like start to get into each other, like.
Okay, you
yeah,
talk,
yeah.
you call, you do a little flirting, okay? You basically exchange numbers and all that good stuff. Now, if things continue along that same path and they are very good and things, I don't know, seeing hearts every time you look at them or, think about them all the time or whatever it is that happens to you guys in that stage of progression, what's the next thing that happens?
Yeah, you like start to take her out on maybe a couple of days,
Okay.
movies and stuff like that.
Okay, you're making this seem like it's a lot longer than I thought it was, but okay. So you go and basically start dating. If it works out and things are good and you guys go and do different dates and do different things and you have a good time and you're still interested in that person, okay? They haven't said anything or done anything that, makes you turn your back and walk away. What's the next logical progression? Oh, back up. No. No. In the logical stage of progression, dating is not necessarily a serious thing. What happens next?
Okay, then y'all make it official.
Okay, you make it Facebook official. Okay?
My Facebook approved.
You make it Facebook, your status changes from single to in a relationship with so-and-so, okay? And that's the be-all, end-all. In Jonas's society, there's not really that. It's just on that day, the ceremony of spouse or the matching of spouses, that's when it becomes, if you will, Facebook official for Jonas, okay? Not that Jonas is going to be Facebook official with anybody just yet. Okay, again, along that same continuation, what happens next? If some time goes by, weeks, months, years, or whatever, and things continue to be okay, you go through ups and downs, but you go through them together. This is not a psychology class or relationship class, and we're not going to